guys, it's Kugli again with another ROM review, and this time I've got the OxygenOS version 9.0.10 for the OnePlus 6T. Yes, that's the latest version of OxygenOS for the OnePlus 6T. Yes, that is the only version of ROM, I mean the only real fully functional ROM available for the 6T. So I decided to make a review on it because, well, it's been a while. So let's get started. So guys, the OnePlus 6T, it has been getting a lot of updates over updates, and we are right now at 9.0.10, that is 9.0.10, and it has been a great working ROM. Let's get started now. First of all, that is the lock screen, and as you can see, the fingerprint scanner is available, and it is quite fast now with incremental upgrades on the software. It is actually getting to a point where you don't really mind the speed difference from the optical sensor to the ultrasonic sensor, so that is one thing. There are a lot of updates on this one. You can go ahead and check out what all the updates are. I'm not going to name all the updates, but just know that the versions, all the updates do make meaningful sense and have been meaningful upgrades over the last version, so that is something there. First of all, what you see here is the launcher, which is the OnePlus launcher. It has a few options here. If you have this device, you already know about this one, so it doesn't really matter now. So let's get to the settings now. In the settings menu, you can see that in the about phone page, it is for the OnePlus 6. So it is 9.0.10, Android version is 9. It has December security patches. That is the main improvement with the 9.0.10 version. I am using the stock kernel because, well, stock kernel is what I normally use for a review purpose, so that is how it is. I will be changing it to a custom kernel because that has a lot of improvements which I will be discussing, so yeah. Anyways, that is it in this about phone page. Now, OnePlus's OxygenOS ROM, in my opinion, is a really great stock ROM. It may not be the stock Android, it may not be the Pixel experience, but in my opinion, Pixel experiences, the only reason I like Pixel experience is it is minimal. For the OnePlus device, in my opinion, OxygenOS is the perfect synergy ROM, so it works really well. Before any of that, everything works. This is the stable release. There is nothing which does not work, so everything you see here is working. LVLT works, Wi-Fi works, Bluetooth works really well, no disconnections and all that. I still have my watches connected, so as you can see, it is still working really well. Let's see the features now. First of all the features are inside of all the settings, and it is a long list. Let's get started. In the display options, you do have adaptive brightness. Night light is available. You can select that to be turned on automatically with sunrise and sunset, which really does work. Reading mode is available, where you can enable grayscale mode and also block the peak notification, which is pretty nice to have. Screen calibration is available. The only reason is because I have night mode on, that's the reason. You can change the screen calibration to sRGB, DCP3. All of these options are available, which is really cool. Now the notch is a thing, and you can actually choose to hide the notch permanently and use the notch in the other way also, so that is available. You can customize that. Personally, I've started looking past the notch on this one because it is not that pronounced anymore, so that's one thing. Apart from that, you can also actually select which all applications require full screen access. Like for example, Nova Launcher, which I use as my daily driver, that doesn't play very well with the notch display on any phones actually, so there is an option for the application to forcibly use the full screen mode if it doesn't. So that is one thing which is really cool. Ambient display options are available, so you can select when it is activated with the pickup of the phone or the tap the screen to show. If you enable tap the screen to show, you do not get double tap to unlock option, so keep that in mind. I personally use double tap to unlock a lot, so I don't have this one enabled. Anyways, a clock style can be customized. You do have options here, so it is really cool. Display message can be enabled, and also new notification can be enabled or disabled from here. Wallpaper theme options are available, and theming options, you do have options for colorful, light and and dark theme. I have, well, of course I have an OLED screen, I am using dark theme. And also one more thing is that you have a custom color selector, which is amazing, which is great on the Pi version of OxygenOS, which is really nice. I believe this is also available in the 5T's Pi version. Font option is also available, where you have option for Ubuntu and OnePlus Slate, which is standard. Status bar customization is available, where you can enable the battery bar or battery circle or battery hidden even. I normally keep it hidden because that's just how I go. Battery percentage can be enabled, display network can be enabled, so you can have that. It is working here. Because there is a notch, it cannot fully select or fully have that option here, but if you drop down you can see that, which works really well. Time can be customized in here, and also icon manager is available, where you can disable or enable any icons which you don't need. So that is it in the display options. In the sound options, you have a few more options, like earphone mode is available, which was in a subsequent update of OxygenOS, where you can customize everything. So speaker ID, call speaker ID, speak already through the Bluetooth earphone, and that is something which is really cool. I have been using that very well with my Bluetooth headphone, which is really nice. Smart Actual for Bluetooth is also available, which is really nice. Autoplay, Google TTS info can be enabled, and also notification on the Bluetooth earphone can also be enabled, which is really nice. Audio tuner is available. If you have even a Bluetooth headphone connected, you can actually tune it within the software. You don't need to go deep into the OxygenOS or deep into the music player. You have the master control, which is really nice to see. The ringtone options are available, and you do have an option for enabling ringtone for each and every SIM card, because it is a dual SIM phone. You do have options for that, which is really nice to see. Also vibration can be customized. It does have different patterns for vibration. This is what I keep. Touch vibration can be enabled, and also vibration intensity is available in 3 functions, so light, medium and strong, for the 3 functions, which is incoming call, notification and vibrate on tap, which is really cool. All of these options can also be enabled, which is pretty nice. Now in the buttons and gesture options, you do have alert slider, which is a staple of OnePlus ROMs, and OnePlus devices do tend to use this really well. I use this for vibrate and ring mode constantly, and it has been working really well. Navigation bar can be enabled, and this one does have the slide gestures, which is really awesome. It gives you a full screen real estate without sacrificing on the functionality, which is really nice to have. And you do even have the switch to the previous application gesture also, which does work really well, which is missing in most of the other custom ROMs. So that is one thing. Or if you are someone who wants to use the pill, it is available, you can use that. Or also the standard navigation bar can also be enabled, and also it has customization for that. So well, everyone can pick their own poison, so that's pretty cool. Now quick gestures are available, that is the screen of gestures. Flame mode is available if you want to use that. 3-finger screenshot for the screenshot options are available if you are someone who uses that. Call by gesture is available, which is this gesture. It will accept a call if you have that. Double tap to wake can be enabled from here, which is really cool. Music controls can also be enabled from the device screen off. The screen of gestures also has a few more alphabets now. So OV were standard from the previous versions available. You also now have S, M and W, so that you can actually customize that. Even customize to opening front camera and recording a video, which is really nice to have. Also any application can be binded to it, which is really cool. Now quick turn on the camera is available now. I believe it was not available with Indian devices previously. Now it is available because there was this stupid emergency service which was binded to it. I'm not saying it is not useful, but losing the quick camera option from Nougat was pretty damn shitty, so that's one thing. Now you do have an option for this one. When you first get into this ROM, this is disabled because the emergency contact information is there on the triple click of the power button. So what you have to do is go into settings menu, or in the security menu, go to the emergency rescue services, and in there you have to change the trigger to 5 taps or disable. So if you have 3 taps enabled, the double tap for the power button for camera does not work, so you need to enable that from there for this thing to work. So that's also for there. Now quick activate the assistant app is available, which I have been using for a long time, and it actually works. It's really cool. I've been using that. It works really well. So that's one thing. Now in the other options, security options, I've already shown you guys what all is available. This is the security patches of December, so that's the latest version. Now something which is really cool in the fingerprint unlock is pretty nice. Now in the fingerprint scanner options, because it is an under display fingerprint scanner, you do have a few options available for the effects. Right now I have Cosmos, which I think is the better one. There's also the wave option, also the stripe option. There is a substratum theme available on the XGA forums, which you can change the color of this one, which is really cool. I think the McLaren version of 60 has a different animation, which is actually really cool. I'm just waiting for that thing to be ported to this normal 60, which will happen soon enough. So that's one thing. You also have the option for turning on the ambient display in here. So again, keep in mind, if you enable this option, double tap to wake does not work. Face unlock is also available, which is really fast and really one of the better features of OxygenOS in my opinion. Apart from that, utilities, you do have gaming mode. If you have gaming mode enabled for the detected application, or you can select any application which you want it to actually use it. So that does work out. In the gaming mode, you can actually choose how the notifications are displayed. If you want to have notifications, if you do want to have only texts displayed, or the notification by third-party calls, all of that can be customized from here. So it does work out really well for people who game a lot. Quick launch is available for those who want to use the fingerprint scanner, which is this animation. You can see that there are a few shortcuts. You can use Paytm, voice search, all of that can be enabled. I personally do not actually use it because it takes too much time to get into it. I can just tap around and get into it much more easier, so I personally do not use that. Parallel apps are also available, which is a OnePlus staple, which a lot of people have taken interest in. It actually allows you to have two instances of applications. Like Instagram, you can have two accounts with two applications, two separate applications which does not communicate with each other, which is really cool for those people who have dual identities and have a brand account and also a normal account. App locker is also available, which is pretty straightforward. It comes with the OxygenOS, which really does work out really well. Scheduled power on and off is also available, which I personally do not use. And in the OnePlus laboratory, you have Smart Boost. What Smart Boost does is it actually tries to make use of the huge internal RAM, tries to copy the internal files to the RAM, which is faster of course, to launch everything faster. Like if you have a very demanding game like PUBG, you can actually have that working there, and it really does work out in that regard. So pretty cool. So that is it in the utilities section. In the other one, in the system options, you do have system updates. You can enable that. It will check for updates. So right now I have 11/12/2018, that is a 9.0.10 version, which is the latest one. Works out. Now also you have Otg support. You will have to enable that from here. These are all the spam stuff which you should keep disabled. Recent app manager is available, where you can customize what this button does. You can have a normal clear or a deep clear, and even the addition of this button makes it better in my opinion than stock Android, where you have to scroll to the end of Oblivion to get a clear all button. So that's one thing, and that is it in the settings menu. That is a lot of features, and all of these features are something which I actually use a lot, and I have been using these. It's just amazing how much difference all these little things makes a difference to when you're using a stock based Android. So it really is cool. I really like that. So it's a great set of features. Now comes the battery life. The battery life is spectacular, I have to say that, because, well, as you can see right now I have been using the screen for 21 minutes. Now 21 minutes is 1/3 of hour, so if you convert it to percentage per hour, that would be 3 times of this one. That's 3%, so 3 into 3, 9, so that is about 10% of active drain. And I do have the stats here. I have been using this for quite some while. Right now it is showing 5%, because it does actually fluctuate a lot, but in the long run I have noticed from about 8 to 10% of active drain and under 1.3% of idle drain, which is phenomenal. With about 10% of active drain, you can expect about 10 hours of screen on time. Now if you are doing something intensive like playing games and all that, it's not going to stay that much, but 6 hours is not unheard of even with gaming, even with slight gaming. So that is really cool. Battery life on this phone and with this ROM is really nice. But that's not the end of it. If you are someone who uses a custom kernel like I use Smurfs kernel with the battery preset on Spectrum. That transforms it, because I get consistently about 5 to 6% of active drain and less than 0.7% of idle drain, which is amazing. You can actually use this phone for 2+ days with moderate to low amount of usage. I can not charge this phone for 2 hours, and at end of 2 hours I can still go out for half a day and have fun with it, not throttling anything, using camera, using GPS, and I'll still come back with a live phone which is not dead, which is amazing. I really like that. I'm really happy to see that. Now the performance of the phone. The performance of the phone is also pretty cool. This is the last score which I received. So 286819. The average score which I received was about 286386. Which is pretty cool actually, and this is the version. I mean, this is on the stock ROM. I got this score, and it's about it's in the third place when compared to Mate 20 Pro, which is using a next generation processor, so that is expected, I guess. ROG phone again has a better cooling solution and all that. But what I do want to show you guys is this one, which is again on the same phone, but with the performance preset on Smurfs kernel. I know this is not a review of Smurfs kernel, but I mean, a kernel change can make a difference, and it actually does give you. This is with the balance profile, and this is with the battery profile. So yes, battery profile does cause it to take a hit, but I mean, personally, I would trade in more battery for more performance any day of the week. So yeah, I guess that much is it about the performance. It's a great performer. Let's just run the game and show you guys how PUBG runs, which is really cool. So as you can see, I am using the highest profile right now. In the settings menu, you can see that in the graphics, it is HDR. There's no Ultra HDR at least right now. Frame rate is on extreme. Haunted movie profile, which is there. I really like that. Anti-aliasing is disabled, which I don't really find any use for it. And auto adjusting graphics is enabled for FPS function to match. So anyways, this is the function which I'm using right now. Let's try and move around a bit. As you can see, it is buttery smooth, much smoother than the stock version. I'm not going to show you guys stock version because you can try that yourself if you are using that. It is pretty cool. So as you can see, I am using the highest profile in movie setting, and it's actually pretty good. I really like that. It's buttery smooth. I have to believe this is 60 FPS because it's pretty freaking awesome. I really like that. That is the graphical prowess you can expect out of this ROM or this phone. So performance wise, it is stellar. It's a great performer as expected of a flagship of 2018. So yeah. Now the stability of the ROM. I mean, what do you expect? This is the most stable. This is the peak of stability you can expect with a phone. That is the manufacturer intended stable release. I mean, there's no question of it. It's really stable. I didn't have any issues with it. Now the camera. The camera is also pretty damn nice. It actually works really well. It has a night mode. I mean, I have made a separate detailed comparison between the stock OxygenOS camera and the Google Pixel camera. By the way, Pixel camera has actually gone up in quality and in stability a lot from the last time I made a video. I might actually revisit it. Again, it is available, it works, and I'm just really happy about it. So yeah, the selfie camera is also pretty cool. Night mode works, everything basically works, and I'm really happy with the camera performance of this. Recently, DxOMark just released a camera performance rating of 98, which is actually pretty respectable. Not that you should blindly believe it, but again, it's still something to brag about. Now the aesthetics of the ROM is also pretty damn nice. As I've already told you guys, the dock theme is available. It doesn't support full OMS substratum, but substratum can be enabled. I have actually tried out substratum themes. Apart from a few glitches, which is universal for Pi release, it actually is something which does work out really well. Now the overall experience of the ROM. I have to say this, that OxygenOS is a ROM or a software which I don't mind using over stock Android. 2 to 3 years back, I would not have even thought of saying that. I would prefer a third-party application over stock Android, but OxygenOS has made me change my mind because it gives you the essential features like the swiping gesture menu or gesture for navigation, which is really awesome. It's really slick and I really like it. Just the basic experience of using this ROM is much more streamlined and much more easier than any other stock based ROM which I have used. And to be extremely honest, being a custom ROM nut myself, I wouldn't mind using this ROM as a daily driver. It really works, and well, the tinker in me still tinkers around with kernels and the settings on that, so I'm being kept at bay with that. So yeah, I guess that should be it with the experience of the ROM. Top-notch experience, there's no doubt about it. Now I'm not going to show you guys the boot animation because if you have seen a OnePlus device, which you probably have, you already know how the boot animation is. It's just the O with the rotating stuff, OxygenOS and all that. I guess that much is it about the ROM. If you are watching this video with the OnePlus 60, you already know everything about this one, but just want to let you guys know of my opinion and to let people know that not having custom ROM doesn't necessarily mean the end of the life for the phone, because that's just not true, because the stock ROM can be equally as magical as this one, so it just works. So yeah, I guess I'm just about the video then. Hope you guys like the video. Please share, subscribe and like the video if you found it useful. See you guys next time. Bye.